I'm a big proponent. I was a special education teacher for 20 years. I don't read a lot of books. I listen to them on audio because I just can't read. I mean, I can read. I just don't like it. But we always start with, our company does start with our why. Simon Sinek, start with why. This is what our product is all about. Okay, we believe great contractors earn more work, boom, when it's easy to see, easy to trust, and impossible to ignore. So what our platform does is we give homeowners a visual representation of your book of business, and it makes it impossible for them to ignore. I look at thousands of websites. Our platform lives on a website. And I got to tell you, and we'll talk a little bit about websites today, but you know, I was talking to a company today. They've done about 30 projects, been in business for 6 months. That's freaking awesome. I can go to 90% of contractors' websites and I'll see like 10 gallery pictures. So even though you're a brand, see, I see a lot of this, and you might be one of them, right? Your website might be the same way. Even a map of 30 projects will speak more than a map, a website with nothing. Okay, so we really start here and we try to evolve our product. We're a software company, so we're always making it better. But just big thanks to Kyle for making this happen and Johnny for splitting the cost with us. Yeah, I'm Steve Spence. This is Pat. This is Perla. We're a small team. We've got 5 other people, but this is anybody know who that is? You're not allowed to say, Johnny. That's just the CEO of CertainTeed. I felt pretty big there. His name's Mark Rayfield. I was like, wow, okay, I get a picture with this guy. But I'm a managing partner. There's 5 of us. I'm the only one that works at Project Map It. I got 2 kids. I'm a big fan of the great outdoors. I love camping and stuff like that. I actually love my job completely, just so you know. You can probably tell by the time I'm done with the presentation, you'll be like, that guy's passionate. Everybody says that I am. We're a small and mighty team. Our biggest competitor, I won't say their name. Someone said it earlier, but they have like 250 people, I think, or 150 people in their business. We've got 8. Okay, but we're still awesome. I always like saying this as my disclaimer. So I've learned a lot. So I'm smart with some things, but you all are the ones that live it every day. So we learn from you. Our team learns from contractors every day. I'm not a marketing agency or a sales coach. Our product is a marketing and sales tool. So I obviously, over the last 8 years, going on 8 years now that I've been doing this, I've talked to tons of marketing agencies and tons of sales coaches and tons of contractors that sell. So I know a lot about it, but I'm no expert. You guys are the experts. So I'm only sharing what I've learned by other industry leaders in your industry. Okay. My hope is that, you know, we leave today and you just get some aha moment from something that I give as a possibility. I also do want you to subscribe to our software because I think our software is kick-ass. Okay. And honestly, we're integrated with SRS. It makes your map being managed and created very, very easily. Okay. So just what I've learned is what I'm sharing, right? Local, trusted, proven. Those are our 3 pillars. If you can show a homeowner that everybody in the crowd is following that company, then you're going to earn more business. Would you agree with that? Like if you can prove to a homeowner that you're the best one, they're going to choose you over the, well, let me ask you, how many people here are competing against other companies when you're giving your free estimates? Raise your hand. Does anybody compete? Yeah, all of us do, right? So if you're competing against others, what can you do to stand out over those other 2 companies that might be at that same house providing that same estimate? So it looks like everyone is using this company, so we have to go with that company. That's what we want to prove to homeowners, okay? And that's what our tool can do, and it's what's important. I don't know if you know this. Trust starts before your home inspection. Have you guys ever heard of this stat or seen this stat? Between 57 and 70% of that homeowner's mind is made up before your sales consultant even goes to that house and knocks on that door. Like, it just depends what study you're looking at. Most say 57%, some say 70%. So if that homeowner's already made up their mind before your sales consultants knock on the door to get on the roof or to look at the siding job or the kitchen, bath, whatever you're doing, what are you doing as a company, as a contracting company, before you knock on that door, right? Why is that? How are they making up 70% of their mind? What is it that they're using to make up 70% of the mind? Huh? The internet. What's on the internet? What kind of things are they looking at? Reviews, 100%. Pictures, 100%. Social media, right? Like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn maybe. I'm a big LinkedIn guy. I love LinkedIn. Okay? So that is my big question mark, and you've already answered it. So this is obviously becoming a big play in the market, right? It's not the end all be all now, but I can tell you right now, my phone's recording. But if I'm searching for something, I'm literally going to my ChatGPT icon on my phone and I'm Googling, hey, I'm looking for a roofing company that's, certified in this brand and has good reviews. Can you give me a list of 5? So I'm asking AI questions. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So AI is becoming a big player in the game. It's not the only player, but it's a big player. So these are the 3 things that we do. And I'm actually, this is a brand new presentation that I'm giving. I'm kind of gearing it a different way. The 3 pillars of our product, and I put them in order of, I think, most important to least important, is that we are a interactive map. That's the very first column where it says sell smarter, show your jobs. So if you can share your book of business digitally before you go out to that house where the homeowner's already made up 70% of the mind, that could help you close the deal before your reps even get there, right? Presenting in the home. How many actually give a digital presentation in the home and sit at the table? 1, 2. Sometimes in your back pocket. Some people don't do it, right? And I get that. But you could present, if you're presenting and sitting at the table, maybe throwing that up in front of their face goes a long way. I've actually been on 3 roof inspections, and I can tell you the emotional connection they had when the homeowner was able to show them, whether it's 30 pins on a map in all the jobs you've done or 50,000, doesn't matter. Their reaction emotionally is always like, oh shit, that's awesome. Look at all the work you've done, okay? We actually have, and we did this based on our relationship with CertainTeed. We present all over the United States the last 3 years for CertainTeed, and a lot of their contractors said, I really need an easier way to get reviews. So we have a way to effortlessly collect reviews using a QR code, a reviews landing page. We're going to talk about that. And then the last thing is, you know how everybody has their own Better Business Bureau page or their Angie page? Yeah, I see that too. Oh, hell yeah. But still, those pages still help you. And honestly, I don't really talk about this much, but I'm going to start talking about it in my presentations because of AI. And I'll talk about why. So let's just talk about Project Map It in sales, because that's what our pillar, that's the core of our company. So we are a great sales tool. Anybody that uses us as a sales tool will help increase their close rate. How many decision makers do I have here? How many people would be like, yep, I'm cutting a check right now for Project Map It? Okay. I like knowing that. I don't know why. Okay. But point being is, I have an ROI calculator. I won't show it to you. It doesn't really matter. But the old cliche, I know you've all heard it before. You sell one roof, it pays for itself, right? I mean, it literally actually pays for itself if you sell one roof in a year. So with Project Map It, you have all these red pins and these black clusters. These black clusters, you can make them all red. You can make those little black clusters go away. It's hard to see, kind of hard to see. Let me blow it up once. But those black clusters just mean that's how many you've done in that area, right? So right here, there's a number 107. If I click on a cluster, zoop, okay, that alone, do you think that would impress a homeowner? Hey, we've done, I don't know, 100, 150 jobs in this local area. It's pretty nice, right? And that's one of the emotional connections I saw when I was with the one husband-wife connection. She, out of her mouth, she said, Jesus Christ, is that all the work you've done in our area? And he's like, actually, we've probably done more, but that's what we have on our digital portfolio. She's like, that's amazing. Okay, so just local, right? Local, trust, proven are 3 words that I said earlier. That's the local part. If you can show that you do work in their neighborhood, that will help you close a deal, okay? Our map is interactive, but before, I just want you all to know that we have a ton of different customizations. So this is the logged in version. So this is how you would manage your Project Map It portfolio. This is just the map itself. So here's Pinnacle Roofing out of New England. So what do you notice different about this map than the other one? They're houses instead of pins. I know it's a very, very small thing, but it's a lot of our customers said, can we have houses instead of pins? So if you have a really good logo and the logo would look sweet as a pin, we can make your logo a pin. Okay? Just depends if your logo is nice. Sometimes logos don't work perfectly with it. So we have, my point being, we have tons of customizations. So just understand that there's lots of customizations. Okay? So as a sales tool, and I'll talk about how people put it in their sales process. But the first thing is pins. you have this section over here. This is a gallery view. Okay, these are gallery views by default, so you can just select certain jobs that you think are nice and pretty that you uploaded pictures for and put them there. But the map becomes interactive. So you can work with the map based on what the customer wants. Customer says, hey, do you have any reviews that we can read? I want to read some more reviews. You click that button and all of a sudden you have all of your reviews. Okay, so I can show Mrs. Smith and whatever all of our reviews. Okay, you can quickly refresh the map. The G badges are there. Our Facebook integration isn't working. Facebook doesn't always play nice. We're going to rebuild that. Once we rebuild that, you'll have Facebook reviews allowed to be on there. This yellow star, that means it's actually a Project Map It review. I'm going to talk about reviews when I talk about reviews, so I'm not going to get into that yet. Okay, but you can quickly, as a sales rep, refresh the map and put it back to its original state. Media, not many people use this. When I click it, the map changes to only show houses with actual pictures on it. So if I click on any of these will have pictures of job photos that you've uploaded. Okay. Well, we're on the internet, so don't know how fast it is. The bread and butter is right here. I could blow this up maybe one more time. So this is where our good friends at SRS come in. So now I can build a map filterable by whatever you want. It's literally anything. It's customized. So if you do decks and kitchens and you're a full, GC, you can put everything on there. If you're mainly roofing and siding, you can put roofing, and in this scenario, roofing colors, siding colors. Okay? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, so I do ask that question. I wouldn't have done it here without you prompting me, but how many of you or your sales reps have called either your distribution, your manufacturing TM, or the person in your office that works, your admin in the office, saying, hey, can you tell me where there's a certain color and a certain zip code? Like all the time, right? These guys love it when you use Project Map It because you call them less. In fact, we've built 80 maps for all the territory managers at CertainTeed. We built a map for SRS. Let me know. Try to figure it out. So now if a homeowner or as a sales rep, like they're looking for a kitchen or they're looking for a certain color of shingle, I can be like, oh yeah, let me show you Georgetown gray. So now you see what happened. The map changed to Georgetown gray, but over here also changes. So any photos that you uploaded for Georgetown gray are now here. And when you click on a thumbnail, it'll pop up. So that pin will pop up. You can click on the thumbnail or you can click on the pin itself on the map. Doesn't matter. It's going to open up a window like this. So now you have access to Georgetown gray roofs that you've done in seconds. In that scenario where the lady said, and I'm not trying to get religious on anybody, but when she said, Jesus Christ, that all the work you've done in our area, she was trying to choose between pewter and charcoal black. So he used that filter system and he was able to show pewter by clicking the filter and then back to charcoal black. And the lady looks at her husband and she says, I was wearing an O'Leary roofing shirt. She didn't know I was Project Map It, but she's like, honey, this software is awesome. Like I can visually see what it would look like on my house. And it's much better than the shingle board that you have behind you. And she pointed to the shingle board, which is, only so big. And she looks at her husband. She's like, pewter, right? And he's like, yeah. I mean, he doesn't care. It's whatever the wife wants at that point, right? So pewter is what they chose. So in a sales call, what a lot of people will do is they'll go into this search by location, and they'll either, if you click on the little airplane, it geolocates where you're sitting with the homeowner, and it'll zoom in, right? Or you can search and type in the address, which is a big wow factor. A lot of people like to just type in the homeowner's address, and then they hit enter, and it zooms in, and they can show all the pins around their neighborhood. Any questions on how the map works? Do you all feel like there's value to that? Yep. Yep. So to get the pictures or the pins? Yeah, how many use Company Cam? Anybody? So we are integrated with Company Cam. So we have a direct integration with Company Cam. You can be in Company Cam and you might have 100 pictures in there and you only have like 3 or 4 good after photos, and those are the photos you want to send to Project Map It. You just select the 4 photos and you tag it, whatever color shingle or whatever it is you did, and it pushes those pictures over. Okay, so there's a direct integration with Company Cam. We are a very dumbed down version of Company Cam. We are a web app. We're not an app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. You bookmark our system, and you can take pictures with our system. So we are a photo documentation system as well if somebody doesn't have a good way. The other thing, and I'll talk about SRS in a second, the other thing is we're pins on a map, photos, and reviews. The only thing that takes any kind of time management would be the photos part. So what we do is if you save photos in a CRM or on a Google Drive or something like that, we just tell our customers that use us, hey, once a year, if you're not going to use Project Mappa to take photos and store them, once a month, not year, once a month, just go in for an hour and download and upload photos. And you can get usually about 20 to 40 projects an hour, okay? So we're our own photo documentation platform. We connect with Company Cam, or just once a month, do it. Now, think about how SRS comes into play, right? You have different colors of shingles and siding, and you have to put a pin on a map, you need an address, right? And SRS delivers to the address. So SRS data knows the address, and they know what they delivered. They delivered this color shingle. Okay, so the way we work with SRS currently right now, and it's going to change in about 4 weeks probably, is currently right now, if you were like, hey, Steve, I want to use Project Map It. Pat, let's sign us up today. You'll have a blank map. You fill out a form. It's called an SRS opt-in form. You fill out that form. You put in your SRS customer ID number. SRS every Sunday delivers us a spreadsheet. So Sunday, we would get a spreadsheet with 5 years worth of delivery data. And then every Sunday after that, they would send us an updated spreadsheet. Where we're going with SRS right now, SRS is currently building out a true integration. And the way that works is you basically, in Project Map It, you get a token, they call it. It's coding, don't worry about it. But you get a token and you copy it. You go into your Roof Hub account. You say, I want to connect with Project Map It. Boom. Now SRS delivery orders and Project Map It talk in real time. So now, like, in 5 weeks' time, once the integration goes through, if you had a blank map, you connect the two, and all of a sudden your map is uploaded. And then every future order that you make with SRS, it'll update. It is 10 square minimum. So if you order 10 squares or above, it will bring in that data. Anything else that's below would be considered a repair, right? Is what we've decided with SRS at least. So what we can do is we can work with your team to get your CRM data once a month and upload it or teach you, okay? So SRS comes into play very nicely there. It gets embedded right on the website. So here's a company, Marshall Roofing. What we do is we always recommend putting like an image on the homepage. So there's an image, hey, check it, like get something that's going to draw the homeowner's attention. Check out our portfolio of past work with a call to action button that says view our projects. We work with your website company, when you're ready. You just email your website person, you CC our customer success manager, Project Map It, and we'll give them the embed code to make sure it's on there correctly, okay? Pretty easy. All right, so that's the first thing. The way people use us, and I always like to ask, do you have a digital sales presentation? And there's another presentation I make. I'm not going to dive into it for time's sake, but visuals are very important. Again, special ed teacher for 20 years. I can speak actually as an expert on this one. I don't know if you all know the 5 senses. What are they? Shout them out. Touch. Sight, smell. Hear. Feel. That's touch. So hearing, I have a hearing aid. I don't know if you noticed. I'll just bust myself out. 51-year-old man that feels like he's 78. Out of those 5 senses, the one that processes information, 90% information processed is what? Sight. Visuals, the brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than anything else. And as far as retention goes, right? If your sales rep is talking to a homeowner in the yard, or if they sit at the table and talk to them, any way you present to the homeowner, whatever that looks like, maybe you just give them a CertainTeed pamphlet or a GF pamphlet or something like that. You give them a pamphlet. If you want to be remembered from the other 2 or 3 companies that are going to give that free estimate, think about visuals and how you can implement them a little bit more. Because if you present visually, they will retain 80% of the information you gave them. If you just speak to them in the yard, do you know what percentage they retain? 10%. If you give them a pamphlet to read, they retain 20%. So when it comes to visuals, that's my 2-minute or under like recommendation. You might want to consider, getting some sort of presentation. They don't need to be long. The 3 that I was on, it wasn't a 2-hour sit down. It was like literally 25 minutes of a Canva or some sort of presentation. Canva's a really good one. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You can build some cool presentations out of Canva. So if you don't digitally present, there's some other opportunities. Any pre-appointment email that you send out, maybe it's something that is automated through your CRM, right? Hey, John's going to be at your house at 4 o'clock on Thursday. If you have any questions, give us a call. A lot of times people say those pre-appointment emails or texts, if you're CRM or if you text, sometimes they're a little bland, beefing it up. There are a couple things, and normally I wouldn't do this for time's sake, but consider doing a video of your sales rep.
Hi there, my name is Steve Spence. I work for Target Construction Group and we'll be coming to your house very soon. Really, first of all, thank you for at least having us come out for a free roof inspection. Just a little bit about me. I have a wife and married for almost 14 years.
So I talk about myself. Talk about the process. Do you think that could help, and how many people do that currently? Do you feel like that could be a nice touch? I kid you not, I bought a truck because Romero took a video of him near the 2016 Tundra. Like, hey, it's Romero, this is a truck. We're going to keep it down to $300 just like you're currently paying. Show this to your wife, come on by. Because my wife had already told me like 5 times, you're not buying a new truck. I'm like, well, damn. So I sent her that video. And she's like, okay, you can go, but you're not buying the truck. And what happened 6 hours later? I came home with the truck. And it would have never happened if there wasn't a video, because there was a human connection. That has nothing to do with Project Map It. So if anything, think about getting a video of your sales rep. I've had companies say, my sales rep's too dumb. He or she would look horrible in front of a video. I get it. Maybe make it the owner then. Yeah, I see a lot of people laughing. They're like, yeah, that's me. Maybe get the owner to do it. But also putting in that pre-appointment, throw out your book of business in front of them. Put a link to Project Map It. Okay, Miller's Roofing out of Pennsylvania, Yardley, Pennsylvania. They called me, Michelle, the marketing director, said, Steve, Dave, my sales rep, just came in the office and said he sold a 50-square roof because of Project Map It. It wasn't during the pre-appointment phase. It was in the proposal that they sent after the fact. But the lady, the wife said, hey, Dave, I'm going to use you. There were 3 companies. You're the only one that had a book of business. That digital portfolio, it showed me that I could trust you. I kid you not. Like, you can call Miller's Roofing tomorrow and ask if that's real. It will say yes. Okay? So pre-appointment emails, proposals, I already said it. I won't dive into it too much. This might just keep turning anyway. But you can stick Project Map It in there. And then obviously in-home presentation. This is the actual one I was talking about. This is Stefan Vasquez. He owns his own company now. But the husband and wife are sitting right next to. That's the story I was talking about. Okay, so that's how people use us in sales. I like to ask, how do you ask for reviews currently? How do you all ask for a review? Nicely. Okay, so you verbally ask. Whoever said that, will you please give me a review? I would love you forever. Okay, so you ask. Anything else? Email through like your through your CRM or something like that. Just it automatically sends one email. It says, hey, leave us a Google review. Okay, anything else? Texts are good, right? Links with, what do you mean by links?
So we have this thing where we send the number on link, and if it's they put 4 stars or anything less, it goes to the internal. But if it's 5 stars, it automatically goes to Google.
What do you use for that?
That's a good question. My marketing does that here, so he deals with that. But it's really cool.
Tell your marketing guy to look up review gating. But yeah. So there is something called review gating, and we were going to do texting years ago, and we decided not to because of the whole review gating. It's like, are they going to give us 5 stars or above? If not, I'm gonna send them this, and if they say they're going to give me 4 or 5, I'm going to send them this. What kind of review platforms are you looking for? Everybody's looking for what kind of a review? Google, right? Everybody lives by Google. How many in your emails ask for Google? Everybody. What's your second option? BBB? Got to sign into BBB. Sometimes that's going to deter but yeah, BBB. What else? Yelp. Wow, I've never heard that. Everybody hates Yelp that I've talked to. Yelp must be big in this area, I guess. I've never, that's almost as bad. This is on video. I won't say it on video. It's almost as bad as Angie. Trustpilot? Yeah. So how many of you know that if the person does not have a Gmail account, they can't leave you a Google review? Right? So like, what's your alternative? That's the biggest question that you want to ask yourself. They say, these are just stats I want you to know, in the last 90 days, if you got 25 or more Google reviews in the last 25 days, your revenue on average for your industry, just contractors in general, is going to be 2 times the average. If you have no reviews in the last 90 days, you're going to be actually 13 to 20% below average, okay, of the average revenue per month, okay? I'll give you guys this, by the way. These are some important stats. If Google made a pie chart, and Google split up what Google thinks is the most important, they're going to say 15% is important through reviews. So 15%, Google thinks it's 15% worth the pie. That's a pretty good percentage, right? How much does it cost to get a review? Yeah, how much? Nothing. You just got to ask for it. You got to figure out a way to ask for it. You got to make it a part of your process. Pat will tell you every week, I'm like on Slack. We use Slack to communicate. I'm like, hey, we need a review this week. We're trying to get a review every week. Okay. 31%. If you go up against other companies, is there one of those other companies that might be bidding or quoting less than what you would be quoting? Yes or no? Yeah, right? You're the best of the best, right? Hell yeah. If you're the best of the best, you're going to provide the best of the best, which means your quote, your price is going to be a little bit higher. Okay. People are willing to spend 31% more with companies with good reviews. HVAC company. I live in Arnold, Maryland. Cornet HVAC, 300 reviews when my HVAC went down. The next best one that I saw on Google was like 22 reviews. Had them both come out. Josh Cornet, the owner of HVAC, Cornet HVAC, they were like $1,500 more. I went with Cornet because they proved that their reputation was better. So reviews play a big part. Why would this thing say not 4.5 to 5.0 star rating? That Google wants you to have a 4.5 to 4.8 star rating. Why isn't it 5? No? Oh, who said that? Who said? Okay, can you expand on that? So if you have a perfect 5-star rating, what does that tell Google maybe? That you're fake. Because in your industry, you do a lot of volume, right? Are you going to be perfect? Hell no. And Google doesn't think you should be perfect. So like if you have a perfect 5-star rating, Google is going to look at you and be like, spam. There's no way that company has perfect 5-star rating. Good job. Bad job. No, I'm just kidding. I was a teacher for 20 years. There's never a stupid answer. So stupid. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. All right, negative reviews. Google expects to see mixed results. Okay, it's okay not to be perfect. Stay calm, respond quickly. If appropriate, ask the customer to update the review. Don't ever just ignore a negative review. It actually can be a strike against you and hurt your search engine optimization. Okay, and some statistics about some of what you guys were saying. If you ask in person, you have a 50% conversion rate. That's a realistic percentage. Some people say 76% if you're asking. Okay, 20% conversion rate, meaning you're going to get the review if you request it via text. 10 to 15% if you send an email. So I send 100, I get 10 reviews back. I don't know if you like that stat. I wouldn't like that as an owner. But if you send 2 emails, that conversion goes up a little bit more. And then if you leave behind a card, it can convert about 10 to 20%. Okay, meaning getting an actual review. Why is asking in person the best time to ask for a review? It's personal. It's harder to say no. Okay, what's your name, sir? Paul. Steve's roofing company just put a roof on Paul's house. And I'm however many feet from Paul. If I already know that Paul's pretty happy with me because I was there, and I go, Paul, is there anything Steve's roofing company did that would not want you to leave us a 5-star review? Human psychology. No, you guys are great. Right there, he just verbally said that he would basically leave me a review. Cool, Paul. I tell you what, I'm going to walk around the house one more time. I've got this tap card, or you can scan the QR code. I'm going to clean up the house one more time, make sure all the nails are spick and span. Everything looks good. Do you mind leaving me a review, and then I'll be out of your hair? Sure. Is he going to say no? No, he just verbally told me that I did a good job and that he would leave me a review. So now I'm getting the review. Okay. So that's a big name. Say it again. Reciprocity. There you go. Reciprocity. I don't know if I can, I'm going to have to practice that one so I can say it in my other speeches, my other presentations. I like it. Okay, so let's talk about Project Map It. We have a landing page that you create within our product. So we heard contractors say, hey, we need a better way to get reviews. So in Project Map It, you build this. You put your logo there. You can put whatever reviews. If you want Better Business Bureau, you can add that up there, Angie, Thumbtack, Howes, whatever, okay? So you can do whatever. And then down here, you can even put some of your social media platforms. Hey, follow us. That helps us get seen online better. So now, what do you notice about the reviews that's kind of weird that you didn't realize before? Project Map It. We are our own review platform. Yeah, I said Project Map It. We are the own review platform. We got it. Everything's good. Okay. Our platform doesn't require login. So now when I'm with Paul and I go, Paul, will you leave me a review? He says, yes. I say scan it. He scans it. I'm asking Paul, hey, do you have a Gmail account? No, Steve, I don't. That's cool. Just go ahead to Project Map It. It's a third-party software. It doesn't require a login. You can leave us a review right here on Project Map It's platform. Okay. We did not realize that many of our customers were using our review platform until we started throwing out these PMI. We do a yearly survey now. All County Exteriors, $50 million company out in New Jersey, called me and said, our sales reps love Project Map It. They're a huge company, so they do a ton of volume. But within 2 months, they got 260 reviews. 200 were Project Map It. 60 of them were Google reviews. They use this. I kid you not. I made this because so they literally laminate a card, and their sales reps have a big ass 8.5 by 11 thing. And when they're at the thing, they go, can you scan this? And that's how they do it. Okay. We have other ways. You can buy tap cards anywhere, right? It's a QR code that goes to that landing page. The other thing we have in our system is the ability to just scan the card. Oh, I thought I had it on here. You can just bookmark a QR code. So instead of carrying around, instead of having your reps or whoever's asking for reviews, instead of having them carry around this thing, they literally can just post it on. I say literally. Every time I say literally, give me like a ding out loud. I hate it. But you can just bookmark the QR code that goes to that landing page and do it that way. So you don't have to have something physical, okay? And then other ways the contractors, there is a leave behind. So it's just a business card. Hey, I'm gonna leave this behind. Or a magnet, right? I put magnets all in my refrigerator all the time. I needed my refrigerator fixed the other day and I got my magnet, okay? And you can even put something like, present this and get $50 off your next whatever, your next maintenance on your roof, whatever. Okay, so that's how people use our review platform. It's been pretty good. All right, last thing of our system, and I'll go through, is just this SEO GEO thing. Okay, this is the new player in town. Okay, it's not the all be all. Okay, but do you know what GEO stands for, and have you ever heard of it? Okay, if I said this, have you ever heard of generative AI? Would you be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that? Okay, so search engine optimization, generative engine optimization, okay? And the difference between the two, and if you ask different marketers, and this is where I'm not a marketing a marketing agency, so I know only what I know, okay? And some people will say, this is just good online practice. Enough with the GEO crap. If you just do good online practicing and do it the right way, it's gonna help with both, okay? But think about how people are searching you. When you do SEO, the olden times, it was just in the Google URL or Bing, whatever, and it said, roofer near me, right? And it would pop up results. So your website was the optimization for that search engine, okay? In search engine optimization, your Google profile, your reviews, all that stuff was a part of it. But the difference is, instead of saying roofing near me, what are people doing in like a ChatGPT or Perplexity? What kind of things are they typing in? They're not typing in roofer near me. What are they doing? Who is the best roofing company in Germantown, Maryland, that's credentialed with this brand that has 100 or more reviews, right? So we're asking questions to AI, and AI is generating generative AI. They're generating a response based on your question. And generative AI doesn't just go to your website. Where does it go? Every website in the freaking world. It's searching everything about platinum roofing, titanium roofing. It's like searching the whole database. So having things like an Angie profile page and a Better Business Bureau profile page and stuff, actually not a bad idea, because guess what? It's looking at all those pages. So the reason I say all of that is because, so this is kind of like, this is what's happening now. If they pose a question, there's this AI overview. It's no longer like all the sponsors and all. It gives you an AI overview, and if you scroll down a little bit more, you can say take a deep dive. There's always a deep dive button. It'll even go further, right? And then the other one I had here was just in ChatGPT, you're writing something. You know, show me something in Detroit, Michigan. It gives you some stuff. It starts telling you which roofing companies are the best. And then I think in this video, maybe I even say like, cool, give me a list of 5 more, and it'll give you 5 more, right? So that's the difference that we're working with now, okay? So I say all of that because we do have something that we've not really promoted much up until now, to be totally honest with you. We have a public profile page, okay? And that's this. Liken it to like an Angie page or a Better Business Bureau page, stuff like that. But that page has your map on it. It's got this on it. If anybody uses Roofer with the Instant Estimator tool, or Demand IQ is an Instant Estimator tool, we can put an Instant Estimator on there. But these things get updated in real time. You never really have to do anything with this page. When you put a new pin on your map through the SRS integration, and you post pictures, this page automatically gets updated, okay? So this page could eventually, it's just another trust builder page, but it could eventually help with potentially GEO, SEO. Like if I went to Miller's Roofing and I scroll down on the second page, you'll start to see like the Project Map It page here. So as things progress and more things are happening, that page could help you further down the road. We just had a big webinar with our customers yesterday. And one of the things that we're building out using AI ourselves, and it looks like this was the #1 request from our customers, our current customers, was being able to generate automatic job descriptions based on the details that are already within our platform. So in other words, this was a CertainTeed landmark cobblestone. It was a residential roof. It was a shingle roof. It was in Asheville, North Carolina. So our system would be able to take all of these variables and build out a nice story to tell. So the more written stuff about you, the better SEO, GEO is. But here's what I'm going to honestly tell you. If you want to use us, don't use us as a SEO tool. Okay, our competitors say they're an SEO tool and they're not. They're not. They're full of SHIT. Okay, we're a widget that lives on your website. We are a sales tool first. So I'm only saying that out of transparency because we will kick ass when it comes to sales tools. We have analytics, we have people, we have customers that back us up. We will help you your close rate because we're a trust building tool, okay? Hopefully we can dial in the SEO and the GEO piece, and hopefully down the road it will help. And I'm done. Do you have any questions? So it's really easy to onboard you, especially with SRS. If you order a lot of material from SRS, you could at some point today ask Pat to fill out the form, and he'll send you the form. He can text it to you or whatever. It's not a long form. And let's say Friday, we won't get it until the following Sunday, to be honest with you. We add it to your website. We work with your website company, or you if you're doing it internally. We will upload 2 hours of photos for you. Okay, so if you give us access to Company Cam or your CRM or your Google Drive, wherever you store photos, we'll spend 2 hours doing it for you just to get you started, and then we train you how to do it. It's not hard. And then we train you as much as you want, okay? And then the final piece is probably you want to know how much it costs, right? Yeah, damn right. Okay, so typically it's $23.70 on our upper tier. These prices reflect 500 total pins on your map or more. If you have under 500 pins, the price is less, and you can talk to Pat what that pricing is, okay? So our regular pricing, and this is the discount, this is the standard SRS discount, is $1992.50 a year. We have monthly plans. I think the monthly plan is $169 a month if you'd rather go monthly, okay? If you have multiple locations, multiple offices, you are considered a corporate plan. Talk to Pat, he'll talk you through it. It's only $1,500 per location, okay? And yes, a one-call closer is what we'd love to do, but we don't pressure at all. So our one closed call offer is this. If you signed up today at some point over the next 2 hours or by tonight when you get home, we'll give it to you for the $1,700. This is the discount code. And Pat, do you remember that? You'll remember that discount code in case anybody wants it. It's all capital letters, SRS 1700. So it'd be $1,700 for the first year, okay? So you're saving like $600 whatever dollars. Any questions? Really appreciate you guys letting me speak to you. I hope, if anything, did you get at least one thing that you might take away, whether you decide to buy us or not? Yeah, what was it? Now I'm going to ask the follow-up question. What's one thing that you took away that you liked? Retention of information. Visuals. I like it.
Even if it's not with you necessarily, just
Correct.
seeing what
Tell your company story, man. We support Roofers in Recovery. We raised $45,000 of Roofers in Recovery. I have it on my website. Like I want to create awareness for contractors that struggle with drug and alcohol addiction. My brother's 3.5 years sober, right? Like in recovery. Like that's important to me. If you do something important in your community, celebrate that. Okay? So visuals, tell your company story. It goes a long way. Anything else? Do you guys feel like, and you can be transparent, do you feel like this way of potentially asking for a review could help you get more reviews? Okay. So like even for the smaller company under 500 that maybe just started 6 months ago, congratulations, sir. Our review platform will help you capture reviews pretty easily.